Welcome to the Mustard Seed Media video podcast. My name is Bob, and this is the podcast for Drupal web designers. I know. It's been a long time since I've done a podcast. I try and get them out when I can, and sometimes work gets in the way, but sometimes work gives me something new to teach you. How about that? And that is the case today as we talk about Oembed and prepopulate and a whole bunch of other little cool modules that can be put together to give you a solution. Let's imagine that you're running a portal type site. It's a site that is gathering content from around the web that you want to share all in one place. Maybe it's on a particular topic. Maybe you have a bunch of affiliate sites and you want to put all these articles together. That's what we're going to show you today, is an easy way to use some tools to browse around the web and hand curate articles to show up all on your site, and then give some summary and do some of those things. And then you can jump people off to the main site to read the actual content. That's what I'm going to show you. Let's dive right in. I'm going to show you the modules we're going to use to do it. This is all Drupal 7, of course. The first module we're going to look at is the Oembed module, and this is sort of a key to this whole thing. What Oembed really does is think of it like a screen scraper. Like, it can go out to a site that you give it, and it can scrape content from that site and return it back to you, and then you can do things with it. Now, the Oembed module does a bunch of stuff automatically in the UI. I'm not really going to show a lot of that today. What I'm going to show you is basically using the Oembed module as an API to be able to use its functionality, and then I'm going to take the data that it gives me and I'm going to do some stuff with it. And I'll show you all that in a minute. Main key about the Oembed module, we're relying on the Embedly or embed.ly service. And Embedly is a service that you can sign up for. It does a whole ton of stuff. But one of the things that it does is the actual screen scraping. So when you use the Oembed module and you interface with the Embedly service, what is happening is that Oembed is passing stuff off to embed.ly and into their API. Then embed.ly goes out and scrapes the URL that you gave it, gives some return data, and Oembed module is making that data available. Now, Embedly can be used for free to scrape any URL, and I'm going to show you some little gotchas there in just a second, but there's also paid services as well. I'm also going to use the prepopulate module, and this is just going to be a small example. What it basically does is can take things from the URL that is being viewed when you're creating a node. More or less, it's taking metadata right from the URL, and it can populate CCK fields with that metadata. I'll show you that as well. We're going to use this process right here, drupal.org/node/2235074, and this tells you how to make a bookmark to use with the prepopulate module, and shows you exactly how to do that. And we're going to use this as well. I'm not going to go over how to create a bookmark. You can go here and view that yourself. Now, there's an issue that you should be aware of that I posted and we actually patched, and I have a patch sitting out there for Oembed. Now, by default, Oembed module uses providers, and so providers are the mechanism that goes out and scrapes a particular page to pull in the content that it wants. Embedly is one of those providers, but a lot of services provide their own providers. So YouTube can be its own provider. I believe Google has some providers. Flickr has a provider. A bunch of these services have their own providers. Now, when you use, say, the YouTube provider, it can only scrape YouTube URLs. It can't scrape any other URL. The benefit of Embedly itself, the embed.ly site, is that it will scrape any URL. The problem is, for some reason, the Oembed module doesn't have just a catch-all to scrape any URL. So let's look real quick at the configuration once you install Oembed of what this looks like. So each one of these that you're looking at here is an Oembed provider, provided by the Embedly service. So if we look at Oembedly CBS News, this is a provider that's specifically made to go out and scrape the CBS News website. So we have all of these. And then if we go all the way down to the bottom, you can see that we have some specific ones. Twitter is their own provider, not using Embedly, and some of those other things. So if we look at each one of these, let's say I edit just a random one here, you can see that what this is it's set up, it has a title, it has an endpoint. This endpoint is the URL of the provider that you're using. You will notice that all the Embedly providers use this one endpoint, and then Schemes is the URL that it's able to actually go out and scrape. So it's the schemes portion is limiting you to these specific URLs. So let's say that you want to scrape thousands of different URLs. With the core Embedly setup, you have to, Oembed setup, you have to go in and put all of those 1,000 URLs in the schemes thing. You don't want to do that. So what our patch does, if you go to this embedding any URL issue, which is node 1539632, then what it does is provide a patch for a fallback provider. And what the fallback provider basically gives you is in the settings tab, you can choose a catch-all provider. And then all you're going to do for the catch-all provider is you're going to go in and this is my catch-all provider. And you're going to simply put in the Embedly endpoint. It matters not at all what you put in schemes because that is going to be completely ignored. You have to put something in, but it's going to be ignored. As long as you have this endpoint and this is chosen as your catch-all provider, you can embed any URL. So that's the patch. That's the setup. Let's look at this whole thing in action. It's pretty sweet. So I've got an article content type. And I have a title. I have an article image, which is a file field using Media Module's file selector. I've got an article type. This is just a select list. I'll show you that in a second. I've got a source, and this is the URL of the original post. I've got an article body, which is the description. So let's actually go like we're going to add this piece of content just normally. You see I have my title field. I have my file field for putting in an image. I have an on-site. This is the article type. I have on-site articles, I have feed-generated articles, and I have Oembed articles. And Oembed means basically that it's going to go out and grab the Oembed data that Embedly is using and use it for this node. Source, this is just a URL, and then I have the body. Now, let's see what happens when I use my bookmarklet. So you can go back and you can use that bookmarklet tutorial to be able to see how this exactly works. But I'm going to click my bookmarklet. The prepopulate module, notice up here, is populating a whole ton of stuff into the URL of the node add. Prepopulate module knows to go in there, grab stuff out of it, and populate fields. It knows to grab the title and populate it in the title, and it's currently grabbing the source, and all of this stuff is laid out in that bookmarklet, and it grabs the source and puts it in my source page. And so I can save this. Now, normally if I save this and I do not choose Oembed, and I just save it, it's just going to save as a regular piece of content. So that bookmarklet's pretty cool, you know. It grabs the title and it gives me a link to the source, and that's great. Let's do it again and make it even cooler. This time I'm going to choose Oembed, and I have it set up to automatically choose Oembed if that's up in the URL up here. Now when I do it, notice I have nothing in the article body and I have nothing in the media. I haven't done anything except hit the bookmarklet at this point. And I'm going to save. During that save, it went out, used the Embedly service, grabbed all the data about the content, pulled it in. How cool is this? Pulled in the image from the node. It pulled in the description from the node. It's still got the URL source, and it's got the title. So if we go back and edit, we can see during node creation, it populated all of that stuff, including a file field. Very, very cool. Even one step cooler is, let's say I wanted my description to be this right here. My bookmarklet's set up that I can choose that. Click this. Now note this. Oh, I broke something. I'm not sure what that is, but it'll still work anyway. Notice that it populated the article body with what I selected. And if I save, it's going to use that and also pull in the image. Very good stuff. So all of that works awesome, right? I can hop around the web, use my bookmarklet, just hit save. Everything's being pulled in automatically. How is it going through and populating all of these fields during node save? That part is not part of any module that you can download. I will probably make this available so you can. But I actually just wrote a small module I called Oembed Tweaks. Let me walk you through what it does real quick, and maybe I'll make it available on GitHub or something. Look in the links over at mustardseedmedia.com/podcast/episode 54, and you can find the link to this if I put it up. So if you go through this, we're doing a form alter. So we're basically going through, from our bookmarklet, the prepopulate module and bookmarklets. I couldn't figure out how to make it actually pre-populate a select list. So I went through and I just basically said, if the query string is Oembed, has Oembed, which it does, then go ahead and populate the drop-down provider. Once again, we're talking about this right here. Populate that as Oembed. Now let's go through with Hook Node API, and during the pre-save process, if it's an article and the article type is Oembed, then go ahead, and this is where we're using the Oembed module. This is the only place we're using the Oembed module. We're using its function to go out and say, grab the URL that is populated in this field right here, process that, and return it to me. It returns as an Oembed variable right here. Now we go through and we populate the description with the Oembed description. And then if there's no, if there is a thumbnail URL, which is included in the Oembed data, and we haven't uploaded a custom image, then go in and, this is all media module stuff, go in and populate all of basically the media field, the thumbnail field. We set our provider and we figure out how we're supposed to populate that. Then we set the file and we save it. And then we populate the article image with that data. And then we just set an error message if we didn't get any Oembed data. So this module I'll make available if anyone wants it. You'll have to tweak it because we have specific field names that I'm using in here. For example, article type and article body and things like that. You'll have to tweak those. You'll have to know a little bit of coding to be able to make that happen. So hopefully this is all helpful. I think it's pretty awesome that you can go out, simply click a module or click a bookmarklet on any page that you're on. It'll pull it into your Drupal site, auto-populate with Oembed in the Embedly service, and even puts it in real CCK fields. So now you can use views and you can do all kinds of stuff. Hopefully you think that's as awesome as I do. Let me know what you think. There's comments here. I switched over to Facebook comments just because the Discuss comments weren't working quite as well as I'd hoped. And so you can go ahead and comment there. We always take chip-ins. There's chip-in links there. And don't forget about our premium videos. Look on the sidebar of where this video is, and you can look for some of our premium paid videos to see even more. That's all for now. Hopefully it'll take me not too long to come back and do another podcast. We'll see you next time on the Mustard Seed Media Video Podcast.